Hi, I'm Rosemary Lyster and I'm the Professor of Climate and Environmental Law here at Sydney Law School. I started my academic life as an administrative lawyer, and from there I branched into environmental law, and in the area of environmental law I've become very specialised in the area of climate law. In the undergraduate program I teach what I always tell my students is my first love, which is administrative law. And that's a very interesting course because it really opens up students' eyes to the way in which governments and individuals interact and the way in which the law controls the power of government. So I really do enjoy teaching that course to students, but I really do focus most of my attention now in the postgraduate environmental law program. So in that program I teach largely climate law related units, and that includes units like energy and climate law, water law and climate change, comparative climate law, and then this year for the very first time I'm teaching a new unit called climate disaster law. As a climate lawyer, I really focused probably 12 years of my research on the mitigation side. In other words, looking at how developed and developing countries should be bringing down their greenhouse gas emissions. And then when I realised that things were moving rather slowly at the international law level, I decided to switch my research more to looking at how we as people and as ecosystems in fact are going to have to respond to the challenge of climate change. So now my research is looking pretty much into the very important and different areas of climate disaster law. I think that, as many people will know, international negotiations on climate change have been slow. So there is a risk that by 2020 we're not going to have reached an agreement that is going to take the world beyond what has already been committed at the moment. And at the moment only a few developed countries have made legally binding emission reduction targets. All other countries have made voluntary targets. So one of the big challenges is to see how we can move past the problems that are currently facing the international negotiations to get to that next step, which is a legally binding agreement that includes all countries, developed and developing. So that is a big challenge internationally, but also we see in different countries at a national level, governments are very reluctant to put a price on carbon, and I think it's quite clear that most experts, the economists and scientists and so on, would agree that the most effective way of bringing down emissions is to price it, because in that way polluters who are putting greenhouse gases into the atmosphere will respond and change their processes accordingly.